Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and for those of you watching early this morning, a good morning to you all. Check out this dope coffee mug that I got. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Nhl Dfs slate for Thursday, March 16th. We got ourselves an 11-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up today's video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals. Got one of these games coming in with an implied total of 7 goals between the Canadiens and Panthers. 7 games coming in at 6.5, and then 3 games there at 6 goals even. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see each team who's favored to win tonight. And then here's a schedule update. Again, a video today and tomorrow, but nothing for the weekend. I will, however, be back at it on Monday, breaking down that Nhl Dfs slate. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Starting with that second line for the Florida Panthers. We got Bennett centering Verhaeghe and Tkachuk. This line has played very well for Florida this year. A lot of chemistry between these three, and they got a great matchup to expand on that here tonight at home against the Montreal Canadiens, a team that's struggled defensively all year long. Goaltending has been shaky. They've allowed 3.62 goals per game this season. That's the 6th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 72.5% rate. That is the 3rd worst in the NHL. You'll see Tkachuk and Verhaeghe play up on the number 1 power play, and Bennett plays down on the 2nd. And really, this is a game where Florida should control the pace of play in general, as they rank 3rd in the NHL in Corsi percentage, whereas the Montreal Canadiens rank 28th. And then a cheaper line stack that I like here tonight is that second line for the Los Angeles Kings. We got Danault centering Moore and Arvidsson. I really like that first line for the Kings as well, especially if Kevin Fiala returns tonight and plays up on that left wing with Kopitar and Kempe. I wouldn't say that's a cheap line stack. That's the reason I wanted to go with this second line here to highlight a cheaper line stack, but really a good matchup in general tonight for LA against the Columbus Blue Jackets, a team that's allowed 3.76 goals per game this year, the 4th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 76.5% rate. Now, right now, you're seeing Danault and Arvidsson play on the number 2 power play. Haven't seen Trevor Moore play on the power play here over the past couple of games. Easy to justify him at that price, though, at $3,900. But if you wanted more power play correlation, you could do a 3-man stack with Danault, Arvidsson, and Matt Roy, who I got listed as a defenseman below. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. On the road to 3,000 subscribers, I appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed, watched the video in the Discord, and if you aren't in the Discord, there's a link to do so in the description below. Great group of people in there talking hockey and talking prize picks. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, I actually want to highlight the first and last forward on the spreadsheet here together. Clayton Keller and Barrett Hayton of the Arizona Coyotes do play together up on the first line in number 1 power play. Have been absolutely dominating here as of late. Let me pull open their numbers here over their past 10. You can see Keller's racked up 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points, averaging around 3.5 shots on net per game. Hayton himself, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points, averaging around 3 shots on net per game. They're playing some really good hockey right now, and have a good matchup to expand on that here tonight at home against the Vancouver Canucks. Yes, the Canucks have actually played some good hockey here as of late too, but if we look at this team as a whole, on the year they've allowed 3.79 goals per game, the 2nd most in the NHL, with the league's worst penalty kill hitting at just a 68.7% rate. I then got Patrick Kane there of the New York Rangers, who's been shuffled a little bit throughout the lineup ever since being traded to New York, but he's starting to find his game here now with the Rangers, with 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points in just his last 4 games. He had been playing some really good hockey prior to the trade deadline as well. If we take a look at his last 10 games here, he's racked up 10 goals, 5 assists, 15 points, averaging around 4 shots on net per game. Rangers catch the Penguins at home here tonight. Tough to get a read on this Penguins team. I watch a lot of Penguins games myself. One night they look like a team that could go on a run this year. The next night they look like a team that doesn't even deserve to make the playoffs. Really comes down to the goaltending that they get. If it's Tristan Jarry or Casey DeSmith, either one of those guys can be hit or miss, but the way that Kaner's playing right now, really hard to ignore him at this price, of $6,000. Next, I got Jared McCann of the Seattle Kraken, who's playing some really good hockey himself as of late, up on the first line in #1 power play for Seattle. He's racked up 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points here in his last 10 games. Really like the way he's been shooting the puck as well. Got a good matchup to expand on that here tonight against the San Jose Sharks, who have looked like one of the worst teams in the NHL as of late. In their last 10 games, they're just 1-7-2, allowing damn near 5 goals per game, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 76% rate. Now, every now and then you get one of those players that DraftKings just seems to overlook or refuses to price up. Right now, that is Andrei Kuzmenko of the Vancouver Canucks, playing up on the first line with Pettersson. Those two have shown some unreal chemistry. He plays on the #1 power play as well. Good matchup to expand on his recent success as of late against the Arizona Coyotes, a team that's allowed 3.5 goals per game this season, 9th most in the NHL, with the 9th worst penalty kill too, hitting at just a 75.5% rate, and they take the 2nd most minor penalties in the NHL, so we should see Vancouver on the power play a handful of times here tonight. Look at Kuzmenko's numbers here over his past 10, 9 goals, 3 assists, 12 points. $5,300 is too cheap for a guy that has 9 goals in his past 10. I then got Tommy Novak there of the Nashville Predators, who's done nothing but good things ever since being called up from the AHL this year. 13 goals, 15 assists, 28 points in 34 games. When you get called up from the AHL, you're not supposed to do that, but he's playing really well right now. Look at his last 10 games here. 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points. He's playing up on the first line in #1 power play too, so a really good price tag there at $4,700, and a good home matchup tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks, a team that's allowed 3.5 goals per game this season, 8th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 76.5% rate. Now, moving over here to the defensemen. Now, with 22 different teams playing here tonight, there's obviously some top-tier defensemen to choose from. Cale Makar, Roman Josi. I would pay up for Brandon Montour of the Florida Panthers, being that he's on the #1 power play for them right now. Stack him up with any one of those forwards in a good matchup at home against Montreal. But most of the value, in my opinion, is sitting in the 3 to 5K range here tonight. I got 3 guys on the spreadsheet in the low 4K range that are offering some really nice value. Evan Bouchard, albeit a tougher matchup against the Dallas Stars, who do play solid defensively. Bouchard is playing on the #1 power play right now in the NHL in the Edmonton Oilers. You gotta consider him at this price of $4,200. Matt Roy here, same thing, good matchup against Columbus. Talked about him earlier. You could do a 3-man stack with him, Danault, and Arvidsson on that #2 power play. Do keep an eye on Sean Durzi. I know he's day-to-day right now for the LA Kings. If he returns tonight, we'd likely see Roy get bumped off that #2 power play, so do keep an eye on that. And then Juuso Valimaki here of the Arizona Coyotes, playing some really good hockey himself as of late. And again, you could stack him up with anyone on that #1 power play for Arizona, being that they got a good matchup here tonight against Vancouver, who have the league's worst penalty kill. And then I got a couple of goaltenders there for you, but I do want to start by saying here that there's some really top-tier goaltenders in the NHL sitting in the low 7K range tonight, albeit tough matchups. You got Jake Ottinger of the Dallas Stars sitting at $7,300, Andrei Vasilevsky of the Tampa Bay Lightning, $7,300. You can even go with someone like Tristan Jarry. I know I just talked about how he's kind of been boom and bust this year, but at $7,200, he's by all means someone who could get you 25-plus DraftKings points. So those guys are definitely in consideration for me. But my favorite goaltenders here were Juuse Saros of the Nashville Predators and Jonathan Quick of the Vegas Golden Knights. Saros offers some of the best upside at his position in the NHL. He's also 3rd in the NHL in goal save above expected and wins above replacement this year. Needless to say, he is a very solid goaltender. So from time to time, he can have those slip-up games that don't always make his stats look the best. And then Jonathan Quick there of the Vegas Golden Knights. I like what I've seen so far out of him playing with Vegas. He's 4-0-0 so far, has yet to lose, with a save percentage of .930. He catches the Calgary Flames here tonight at home, who have taken the 2nd most shots on net per game this season at damn near 36 per game. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got there is Brett Ritchie of the Arizona Coyotes. I basically gave you another line stack here tonight with Keller, Hayton, and Ritchie playing on the first line and #1 power play together. He's been good so far with Arizona with 2 goals, 2 assists in 4 games. So again, you can stack him up with that first line or even do a little mini stack with Valimaki. Dennis Gurianov there of the Montreal Canadiens, currently playing on the second line in number 2 power play, riding a 4-game point streak right now with 3 goals, 1 assist, seeing his minutes increased as well to around 16-17 minutes per game. And then Taylor Radish of the Chicago Blackhawks plays on the second line in number 2 power play. He's also riding a 4-game point streak right now where he scored 6 goals, has 1 assist, hitting 10.6, 13, 21.5, and damn near 40 DraftKings points in his last 4 games. And then to wrap up the video, I want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. Unfortunately, I was swamped at work yesterday, was not able to get prize picks out. That does happen from time to time. Thankfully, it happened on just a 4-game slate. I'm not going to do that to you here today on this 11-game slate. We should have a lot of good picks to choose from, or at least a lot of picks to choose from in general. Still waiting on those goalie props here as I record this morning, but you guys know the plan of attack anyway. I'll do my research here today and then let you know my final picks in a comment below on this video. I'll be sure to pin that comment as well, and don't forget I am posting those picks in my Discord channel too, and if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Now, if you have not signed up for prize picks yet, but you want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of. When you're signing up, use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Folks, take advantage of it because they're going to match that deposit right away. You don't have to earn it back as a bonus like some of these other DFS sites. As soon as you put $100 or $50 or $20, whatever you want to put up to $100, they'll match it right away. Again, all you need to do is use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 11-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.